Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. At the age of 17, Deku left his familia. He has money, connections, and, well, let's just say he has his own little title. He understands how to use the Pika Pika no Mi a whole lot better. He has been training his whole life to try and harness this thing's power. And he's definitely done quite a lot with it. He's made a name for himself as the Lightspeed Hitman. However, nobody knows a face to give to this name. And Deku, yeah, he knows what he needs to do. Right now, he needs to build a crew. He needs to look into the underworld and dive deeper into this life. Instead of teetering on the edge, he's finally about to jump off of the cliff and dive deeper and deeper into the underworld, into the underground. Deku, he was dropped off at a hotel where he was almost robbed. However, the hotel was supposed to be neutral ground. Security failed to do their job, and somebody who runs the hotel, they decided to write an apology after they reviewed the footage later. And so at Izuku, he was just defending himself in the hotel. Someone threatened him, so he pulled a gun and put it to their throat. And security, when they stepped in, he acted calm, rational, and gave them money to pay for their lunches. Afterwards, the person who was threatening him, who was being violent, who was being very, well, aggressive in the hotel, they were thrown out after being beaten half to death. Now, Deku, he took a shower, went to a bar, and tried to find information. Someone tried to get money from him after he paid off the bartender for some info. He didn't get much, but a girl walked up to him and told her to come with him. Now, with that being said, we do currently cut to outback side of the bar, where Deku, he followed Mina Ashido. Now, Deku, he's trying to keep things in his head clear. Mina Ashido, he just got her first name, Mina. She is strange. Her hair is dyed pink, and that does say quite a lot about her. Clearly, though, she's got to have a signifier, a familia, an organization she's tied to. No necklace, no jewelry, but from what he can tell, she possibly has a tattoo. There's something peeking out of her shirt. Though, that's kind of not what he's trying to focus on right now. He knows that she has connections to a group. Right now, the two stepping in an alleyway. And Mina just started to walk. Her at least trying to add a bit more flair to it, telling Izuku to follow her. And Deku, he does so and start to do so. He's trying to ask her exactly what they're going to do now. Well, that's just it. Right now, Deku going to hear someone walk up behind him. Them going to step out of the shadows as they go to bring up a sword directly to his neck, putting it onto his shoulder. You know, Mina, is this the guy you brought us? Yeah. He caused a bit of chaos. So you're gonna try and kill me? No. I want to know. You're asking questions about the docks, right? I am. So what do you know? Right now, Mina's not gonna spin around. Her gonna throw out her hands, expressing, well, she's got to be careful. This guy's got super strength. You serious? Right now, I'm gonna lower the weapon. Him going to set it down as Deku to spin around and see a man with red hair. Alright, so you two clearly need me, right? We need someone with strength, yeah. Though, what else you got? He had money. Really? Well, I think Bakugo will be very happy to hear about that. Who's Bakugo? Friend of ours. Also, we call him Boss. Really? Yeah. Though, you new in town, right? Yeah. Money and power. Interesting combination. So, I'm assuming you're a pretty well-known thief? I mean, there's something like that around town, right? We've been hearing about a lot of break-ins and connections recently. That you? No, not me. Shit. Okay, that's a problem. So it wasn't you. Well, if it helps, we might be able to help each other out. Our crew and you. Really. They're turning around. And Mina does someone to step forwards. Talking about it. Really. They'll take him to their boss. Or their friend. And afterwards, they can all sit down and have a bit of a chat. Though they're pretty sure that Bakugo will want to test him out. Especially since he does have abilities. And your boss has them? Sadly, no. All of us weren't given gifts. Though the fact that you have one does say quite a lot. Does it now? Yes. Listen, we know the town and we have information. We got some friends in some very different places. Asking around is dangerous. But if we do it, we know how to do it in a way that doesn't draw attention. Alright? Deku turning back to Kirishima, asking him, so, what do they know about the dogs? Not much. We just know that Down Creek understands and controls that area. They're very, well, aggressive. Plus, fact is, they don't like to play nice. So, are you willing to play nice with us? I can whenever I need to, but I do need to understand and get more information about all of this. What do you mean? I need information about exactly what I'm getting myself into. Listen, information is good and information is power. However, it is almost as good as physical power. We can help each other out. Just lead the way. Though I don't believe that all of you are without gifts. When are the three going to leave? And they'll at least walk down the other way and turn. Them going to head to their little base. Now, Deku right now does have a lot going through his mind. And eventually he's going to walk into a building where Bakugo, he is. And right now Bakugo, he's a lot more intrigued to see something quite simple. These two, they give him a bit of a phone call. And he learned that apparently this guy, he's got some powers and abilities and some cash. So, that does mean that he's a very, very powerful no-name. Though, the fact of the matter is, they don't know too much about that yet. And Bakugo, whenever Deku is going to walk in, he is somewhat talking about it. Right now, him staying there, talking to somebody, as they would turn and bolt away. And Deku, he does somewhat go to stand there. And Bakugo does somewhat go to turn. Him going to step over and ask, so this is the guy? Yeah. What's up? You don't look like much. What do you do? Don't worry about that. I'm looking for information. He's trying to get revenge on someone who killed his dad. That's it? So what? You want to pay? Yeah, I'm willing to pay. Though, I'm curious. You're the boss? Yeah. Why? Got a problem with that? You don't look like much. And who the fuck are you to say that? I'm the Lightspeed Hitman. Oh my god. Yeah, real funny. Degu's going to bring his hand up. Him turning his hand and blasting out a finger gun. And around Bakugo, he does going to hear a can behind him explode. And Bakugo is going to turn his head. Right now, him going to watch something on the shelf behind him pop. Him's not confused, turning back and seeing Deku with his hand up. It going to let off a little bit of smoke, as Bakugo and Kirishima the two don't stand there surprised. What? No, he is... that... what? Alright, I'm going to make this quite simple. Kirishima going to actually try and throw up his blade. Deku going to turn and dodge out of the way of it, bringing his hand up and catching it flat. Him going to turn and throw his elbow at Kirishima. And Mina is going to turn. Right now, her going to turn and bring up her hand. As Kirishima tries to throw out a flat palm to try and scratch Deku in the face, Deku, he is going to turn. Him going to kick her right in the gut as she's going to fall over in pain. And Bakugo, he actually isn't going to stand there. Deku going to put both his fingers down to both of their heads, talking about it. Okay, so here's how this is going to go. Really think that you're going to do that? Listen, there is a lot of problems with what you're doing right now. You're stepping into our turf. I don't care. Listen, I just left my familia, and I'll be honest with you. How about we make a deal? A deal. Really? And what would that be? How about we work something out? I take charge of your little operation for a minute, and you listen to me. Not gonna happen. You don't understand anything about the fuck we've been doing. You want information, pay for it, then get the fuck out of here. Besides, you can't be the Lightspeed Hitman. We've heard about him before. No name, no face. What he does is practically untraceable. All you got is a phone number, information, and the dark web. Though, dark web isn't exactly the right term I'd use. Most people just call it the web. Listen, Bakugo, was it? I'll make things quite simple. They go disappearing, and Ronnie does how to disappear in a brilliant flash of light. And Bakugo doesn't want to stare confused, bringing his hands to try and block his eyes since it was blinding. And I know Deku does a reappear behind Bakugo. Him going to put his fingers up to his back, expressing, bang, he's dead. And Bakugo's confused. What? When did he? Deku bring his hand up, and grabbing onto Bakugo's shoulder. I'm gonna step forwards. Listen, I don't expect you to understand a lot, but right now, here's what you gotta understand. You, how, when did you? Exactly. Like I said, light speed hitman. In less than that second, you would have been dead. If I wanted to, I could have made it hurt. If I wanted to, you wouldn't even have realized I shot you through the back of the head before you hit the ground. Fast, right? What would you call that? I'm waiting for an answer. Why are you here? Good. Now, I need your cooperation. Down quick at the docks, they're moving something. I want to know what they're moving. I've heard rumors and I've heard whispers. But I want definitive answers. Do you know anything? No. People have thought about hitting them before though, but they're they're pretty well armed. I know they are. Though that doesn't really matter to me. Your powers. They seem a lot like shh. Don't mention it. When did you? Hey, I told you how about this. We'll make a little bit of a deal. I take charge of your little operation, and you give me information. In exchange, I become your boss, and you get more money than you can ever want. Name your price. Price? Fine. You want our help? But you have a fruit, don't you? You're smart. Smarter than your little friends. I'll give you that. Why reveal that? Because you're going to be given two choices. Work with me willingly, and things will be a lot easier. I can get you what you want, and I can get what I want. Otherwise, I can just kill you all and move on. I'm trying to make friends. Bakugo, was it? Deku is actually going to turn, expressing holding up some cash. How about they discuss a few things, and they actually become a little bit better friends? I mean, those two over there are still recovering. Them laying down on the ground. And Deku is going to ask, he didn't hurt the two too badly, did he? And Bakugo, he does stare at Deku. He has that look in his eyes of a killer. He might actually be the real, genuine, fuck, okay. Now, Bakugo does sit there for a second. He's not stupid. He understands what all this does mean. Deku is the user of that fucking Pika Pika no Mi fruit. I mean, those fruits are powerful. Power in this world is all you need. I got a price. Name it. We want fruits. Oh, oh, that's funny. I'm serious. I want a fruit, and I want you to give them fruits. You want our help? We'll need to catch up. Be powerful? We'll need power to win. Though, I'm fairly certain you already do know that. I do. I do very much. We can negotiate that later. And figure a few things out. It may take a minute, but we'll get there eventually. All I need is your compliance and your help. Now, what can you tell me about Down Creek? Alright, come with me. Deku and Bakugo are gonna walk away. And Bakugo, he finds himself to be in a very complex situation. I mean, Mina brought him a guy who could have paid for information, but he brought them somebody who outclasses them in power. He brought them a fucking someone who can rival an admiral. Bakugo, though he's actually a bit happy about the situation. I mean, he has two choices. They can work with this guy because they know a bit more about him now. They know his power. They know he's a devil fruit user. Or they can be crushed under his boot. He's giving them an option. And, well, there's kind of only one real option here. Work for him willingly or by force. Or die. I mean, he doesn't like those odds. Now, Bakugo and Deku, the two do somewhat sit down, and they try to negotiate a few things. Bakugo and his crew, they live in a city where it's controlled and run by powerful people. They, however, are just people who have information and who know how to survive. They hide out in the background and pay off people who give them information. They turn around and sell it to people who might be able to use that for something. They usually are on the run. They move around so not to stay in the same place. I mean, it's just how they've been living. And that needs to change. Deku has actual power in this world. And Bakugo, he wants a slice of that. Now, with that being said, Deku and Bakugo, him and Bakugo's crew, they decide to partner up. And right now Deku, he does get a bit more information about the dogs. Because it's been silent down there. And Izuku's not stupid. If you're having a deal go down there or something moved, you want it to be silent. And Izuku's curious about what might be happening here. Now, with that being said, we do actually cut to at 1 in the morning down by the docks. People are still moving a few things. And the last shipment came in. And Deku right now, he does stand there on top of a bridge. Him looking down with a pair of binoculars. And he does get a move. Him turning into a flash of light and landing down on top of a building. Someone turning their head because... Huh. What was that? A shooting star or a satellite? Never mind. Their eyes must be playing tricks on them. Then looking back at the container. And he's trying to give orders to people about what to do. And Deku, he does currently stay on top of the warehouse. Him, with an earpiece on, expressing to Bakugo. But exactly what he's seeing down here. And things, they do seem to be quite odd. And Deku, he does want to step forwards. Him going to sit down on top of the warehouse and look down. Let's see. What are they moving? What are they moving? Okay, so looks like no, that the suppliers. It's guns, Tech. Cork tech. Hmm. Nothing really important or good. Though, taking some of that stuff would be good. Useful? Useful is a good word for it. Now, a guy currently does a walkover, and Deku does a stare at him because he's wearing a suit. Hmm, interesting. More tech savvy. That must be the leader, right? Interesting. Deku brings his hand up. As the boss, he doesn't hit a container. Him gonna someone stand there and walk over. I'm gonna set the container down and pull out a key. And Deku does it a watch. Him pulling out his binoculars as many as shout to his subordinates about what to do. And many of them are gonna turn and run as they do to load up the rest of the shipments into a truck. And the man, he doesn't hold the key. And Deku's quite alarmed. That key looks familiar. He remembers seeing one whenever he was a kid. And the man is going to open the container. Him pulling it open and checking the shipment. As right now he's going to bring his hand down and pull up a devil fruit. And Deku, his eyes widen. And he smiles. Of course. That's why things are quiet here. Though, that is quite annoying. Looks like he came into town at the right time. Though, if they're moving devil fruits, trafficking them? That's interesting. Alright. He's gonna have to ask a question. Deku right now gonna stand up. And he's gonna move at light speed. Deku right now gonna pop up behind the man. And throwing out his leg, smash him across the entire warehouse. And the man is sent flying. Deku bringing his hand up and grabbing the key. Him going to grab the fruit out of the air and set it back down. Him gonna close the container, turn and lock it. I'm actually gonna grab the box, I'm gonna turn and blitz back up into the air. Deku gonna turn back to human as he does a fall and land on top of the warehouse. Him setting down the crate, I'm gonna turn back. As the minute was sent flying, there's a smash directly into a truck. Him landing on the ground, I'm gonna get back up. Right now, I'm a bit more alarmed. As right now, he's trying to look around. The crate's gone. Shit! Okay, everyone, we're under attack! Right now the man gonna turn, watching as several of his men immediately get blasted away by light beams. I'm gonna turn back to the top of a building, where he thinks he saw the beam come from. And right now he's actually gonna turn and try and blast out his own attack. And Deku, he does it a move. Him gonna actually smash down in front of the man and bring his hand up. Him gonna actually throw his fist forwards as he has a smash right into the man's suit. The man being sent flying backwards and smashing back to the vehicle. This time him entirely throwing himself all the way through it. And his suit just to start breaking. And Deku, he has to stand back up. As many of the men are going to turn and look at Deku. And they're going to fire directly at him with their guns. And Deku is going to stand there. Him giving all of them a side glance, as right now all of them, they watch as the machine gun fire doesn't do anything. And Deku just going to stand there. Him right now going to smile. And bring out his hand. Him at least expressing to all of them. They really should go ahead and just put those all down. I mean, he will give all of them a chance. I'm going to fully face them. And there actually is a man who right now, he's rushing forwards. Him at least going to actually use a knife. And Deku's a bit more surprised at the man's boldness. Machine gun fire is literally going right through him. And this guy thinks a knife will do something. All the fire going to stop. As the guy is rushing towards Deku, and Deku is actually going to bring up his hand. Him going to create something in his hand as he's actually going to coil his hand around his palm. And right now Deku, he creates an object. Him throwing it forwards, thrusting it into the man's chest. Him lifting the man up into the air as the man, he is impaled by a spear. And Deku is actually then going to turn and throw the man towards the water. Him going to actually turn his head looking at that. Everyone going to actually get a bit more alarmed. As the boss, he does try to get back up. And Deku, he does gotta do one thing. He brings up both of his hands and blasts out light beams, firing all of them away. And everyone, they're immediately killed. As right now the man in the suit, he does try to roll over. Come on. Him right now gonna get onto his hands. And trying to get back up. No. Him trying to climb to his feet. However, there actually was somebody they do to actually form right in front of him. Him looking up and watching as he doesn't see the shoes. And then he does go look up more. As the entire being forms in front of him. They reappeared out of particles of light. He's a devil fruit user. Now, Dago's then gonna bend down. Him gonna bring his finger right up to the man's forehead. It's glowing with light. Now, I just killed all of your men. Was that all of them? You don't have any idea who you're fucking with. I do have quite the idea. Now, I'm willing to let you live. My escapade here will put quite a hefty amount of money on my head, though that is of much concern. You really think you can get away with this? I already have. Though that fruit of yours, I'm curious. Who is making you traffic it? Like, I'll give that up. If there's one thing I can tell you, it's to go fuck yourself, kid. The guy in charge, he's certainly not anyone you want to trifle with. I doubt that. Listen, my father was a part of this operation at one point, and I wish to know. Exactly what do you know? He just pays us to move it. That's all. Listen, that's all we know. Just stop it. He'll kill all of us. No, no, he won't. Because you see, what I plan to do is kill him. I'm looking for somebody who knows any information about Hisashi Midoriya's murder. You might have heard of him before. He trafficked to the Pika Pika no Mi. The fruit you're using? But the fruit went missing on delivery. I ate it. I gained its power. The fruit was lost. Yes. But I wish to know, who is paying for that fruit you have? Not answering that question. If there's one thing I'm going to die with, it's at least knowing I pissed you off. Interesting. They're going to actually fire a beam through the man's head. The man's eyes going blank, as his head is going to fall forwards. And Deku, he actually doesn't want to turn and stand, as he does try to think about it. No goddamn leads. Okay. Him actually going to turn back to the man. He must have had something on him. Something to help him. Deku right now going to flip the man over and search the man's pockets. Him going to pull out a phone and see that it does have a cracked screen. And it doesn't turn on. Okay, his attack broke it. That's not good. Okay, so let's see. A wallet. Good amount of cash and... Ooh. A note. Deku's staring at that. It has an address and a location. And a phone number. And Deku, he's kind of intrigued. He wants to know a bit more about all of this. However, right now, Deku, he did cause a bit of commotion. The loud crashing and practically a force of an explosion. All of it was heard. And some people, they were alerted. Right now, the Marines, they do get to come here. And Deku, he does actually to blitz back up to the building. Right now, when police arrive, they saw a beam of light. It shooting away from the area. And it somewhat alarmed them. However, whenever they did arrive, they searched everything. I mean, all these guys were dead. And fucking hell, weapon shipments, drugs, it's all an operation. Someone straight up eliminated this organization. And they shit. That right now on the Marines' minds. And a few things happen from here. Deku goes to head back to his hotel room. And currently, after he did go to arrive back, he dumped the crate and kept the fruit. He decided to put it in his jacket and just go to his room. People, they saw Deku walk into the hotel. He clearly had something in his jacket. However, whenever he did get to his room, he actually locked it up somewhere safe. He knew what to do. He needs to look into the registry to find out what devil fruit this is. He already has somewhat of an idea, though it might not be the fruit he's thinking. He actually was going to receive a knock at his door shortly after he arrived. He was going to get ready, clean himself up a bit, and, well, let's just say get the blood off of his clothes. However, whenever he did go to open his door, someone actually stood there. Them dressed in the hotel's uniform, and I was going to bring up an envelope. The girl expressing to him that someone from the top brass wanted him to receive this. Hmm? What is it? Sir, it's a letter. I do not know the context of it, but, um, we have our deepest apologies for what happened earlier, or the other day. I heard about it. We give our sincerest apologies. The girl going to bow and hand over the letter. And Deku, he's gonna take it and open it up. Him gonna read it right there, as the girl is gonna stare at Deku. Deku's body is covered in muscle, but at the same time he doesn't have injuries on him. No scars, but he's clearly involved in this world. And that does somewhat confuse her. Her staring at Deku. And Deku, he does read the letter that does talk about a meeting between him and somebody who runs the hotel. They want to talk to him about the incident the other day, and possibly give him a bit of an offer. They've looked into him a bit more. They know that he was acquainted with a familia. He used one of their vehicles. And that, while it isn't very noteworthy, they do want to ask him a bit about a few things. See where he does lie when it does come to loyalties. Is he an independent contractor, or is he already part of a family? Can he be hired on, or does he provide private services? Right now, it's a bit up in the air. And Deku, he does just get a turn. Him going to bring his hand down to his pocket and give the person some money. Him thanking them for the letter. Them going to actually surprisingly take the money and bow again, wishing him a great night before they do get a turn and walk away. And Deku, he's going to walk back inside. Him going to set down the letter and actually to walk back into his room. Him right now going to stare at the fruit in his hand. He definitely needs to figure out exactly where this came from. He needs to find out what fruit this is. He already promised Bakugo and his crew some fruits. Though this one here, if it fits any of them, he'll hand it over. Though he'll have to make a choice. Bakugo, Kirishima, or that Mina girl. That's definitely going to be a bit challenging. Though, if he does find somebody who fits it, no. He needs somebody loyal. The moment he hands over this fruit to Bakugo, he tried to challenge him. Bakugo's not the right fit for a fruit. Though he certainly does have power, it's interesting. The guy's fast? No. Irrational. He's smart, but he doesn't think things through. Clearly, he wants power. Though it is interesting. He was born a conqueror. Bakugo, he may not have been. Maybe he'll have to show Bakugo the actual difference between power and knowing what you can do with abilities. Though, giving him an actual fruit. No, he can do that. It's just a matter of finding the right one. Bakugo needs firepower. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Now, Deku, he finally finds the fruit. And right now, he actually is a bit more surprised by which one it was, since he didn't expect it. And right now, Deku, he does go to bed. The next morning, he does just gonna call the number that was given to him from the letter. And the meeting is scheduled. As Render is gonna walk into a private room. The person sitting down and gonna turn to him. Deku's seeing a girl with long dark hair. And she does look a bit more fancy, extravagant. She's a rose with a thorn. And right now Deku, he's gonna sit down and speak to the girl in front of him because she does have a proposal for the mystery man here. Now, while all that's happening, let's cut over to All for One, who is certainly intrigued by a few things he was hearing. He heard about how an organization, a small one, they were taken out with what looked to be relative ease. Not a single bullet casing found. Not a single drop of blood found that did not match up to the scene. And apparently this wasn't some rival hit. People are speculating that it might have been a devil fruit user. But that would not make sense. And All for One, he was a bit more intrigued. He thought it could have been a quirk user. But the fact was, this was Dawn Creek. He certainly had his own little influence. He knew when not to expand outside his reach. The guy certainly had his own things going on, his own little organization. And he heard rumors that they were moving a devil fruit. It might not have been connected to his organization, but fact was, things align a certain way. An unmarked container, but something missing from a shipment. And that is curious. But what's even more curious was the beam of light they reported heading away from the area. And he doesn't want to flat out say what it is, because it seems like one of his mistakes, they finally reared their ugly head. It's been almost 14 years? No, 13. 13 years ago, when that fruit was taken from him, when that stupid little courier fucked up a delivery. And now, he's gonna have to face the consequences of some incompetence he let slide. He should have attended to it personally himself. This must be his mistake. Now, the man is not going to frown, and right now he is annoyed, since the Pika Pika no Mi user, he must have just popped up. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.